Hello and very warm welcome at Amish Cycle 5858. I am Amish Cycle. Foreign news have been reported by American, European, Asian, African, Australian news channels and the news agencies. So please, let's go to the headlines.
Newscast streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air of the West. The chaos at America's airports with lawmakers on Capitol Hill set to leave on their 2-week break tomorrow with TSA workers still not getting paid. President Trump just a short time ago saying he will step in. Steve Osunsami standing by with late news coming in now. Also breaking tonight, just days after that deadly crash at LaGuardia, that passenger jet and a fire truck. Tonight there's news just coming in now that there's now been a harrowing close call. This time a packed United flight and a military Black Hawk in its path. The air traffic controller can be heard saying, "This is not good." The war in Iran tonight, and just in this evening, dramatic new video appearing to show the moment a missile comes dangerously close to shooting down an American F-18 fighter jet over Iran. Our reporter standing by. Also breaking, President Trump has just revealed he is now giving Iran 10 more days to open the Strait of Hormuz. With his threat to bomb Iranian power plants, his 5-day deadline was set to end tomorrow. Tonight here, the interview with Savannah Guthrie. What she says her brother, a retired military pilot, immediately knew about their mother's case. And for the first time, the guilt Savannah says she feels if her mother was targeted because of her high-profile job.
I'm so sorry, Mommy. I'm so sorry.
And what Savannah now says about 2 of the ransom notes. There are tornado watches as we come on the air tonight. The severe storm threat in multiple states right now, the Midwest, then moving east. New York City to Boston tomorrow. The dramatic images tonight, the daring cliff rescue, a woman stuck right there on the rocks, waves crashing below. The driver tonight accused of crashing through an airport gate right onto the airfield, trying to get into a plane while it was taxiing. Tonight, the race against time to save a humpback whale, and you'll see it. America's strong, and opening day for Major League Baseball, a 109-year-old veteran, and a dream come true tonight. And we remember a famous singer tonight, so many hits, including Summer Breeze.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight here with several breaking stories. This major close call, a United passenger flight and a military Black Hawk helicopter. The air traffic controller can be heard saying, "This is not good." But first, we do have breaking news tonight involving
hits its NATO target this Thursday night. After years of lagging behind, the country meets its commitment on defense spending.
Half a decade ahead of the original schedule.
Where the billions are being spent and the next goal Canada needs to reach. Iran keeps firing missiles as the U.S. president claims it's begging to make a deal.
And of course they're negotiating, they're obliterated.
And thousands of U.S. troops are amassing in the Middle East. Plus, banned from the Olympics, why trans women can no longer compete. And challenge accepted, the new tech allowing MLB players to dispute calls on the baseball diamonds.
Global National with Donna Friesen.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. After intense pressure from the U.S. president and a sharp increase in defense spending by Prime Minister Mark Carney, NATO now says Canada has, for the first time, reached its defense spending target. And combined with European defense spending, which jumped by tens of billions of dollars in the last year, the Secretary General of NATO says the alliance is stronger than ever.
In 2025, for the first time, all allies met the goal agreed in 2014 to invest 2% of their GDP on defense. And many went much further.
But the U.S. president, who often denigrates NATO, even though the U.S. is a founding member of NATO, is calling his allies cowards for not helping with the war he and Israel's prime minister launched against Iran. Trump posted this today. The USA needs nothing from
Asia Now.
Good afternoon. It's 4 p.m. in Singapore and Hong Kong, 9:30 New Delhi and 11 o'clock in Jakarta. I'm Ilakia Silveraji. Let's have a look at the headlines this hour. Approaching a month into the war in Iran and regional alignments in the Gulf are being tested. Gulf states condemned recent strikes by Iran on their facilities, adding to the mounting casualties and widespread damage. Meanwhile, the U.S. extends the deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz to April 6th, pushing back the original expiry amid ongoing pressure. And amidst the standoff, Pakistan steps into the spotlight as Islamabad emerges as a potential venue for key U.S.-Iran diplomatic talks, as it leverages ties with both Tehran and Washington for possible negotiations. Gulf states have issued a joint statement condemning the blatant and criminal attacks by Iran on their energy infrastructure. Members of the Gulf Cooperation.
Then up for. Search for The Expanse podcast on ABC Listen or wherever you get your podcasts.
Today, tropical cyclone Narelle hits West Australia with winds gusting to 260 kilometres an hour.
Now we know everyone in the northwest have made a tough stuff, but our thoughts are with you all. It must be a very confronting situation.
Wild weather also lashes parts of the southeast. Damaging winds and heavy rain sparked hundreds of calls for help in Sydney. The Prime Minister says fuel supplies remain secure over the near term and dismisses the coalition's call to cut the fuel excise. Donald Trump extends his pause on striking Iranian energy plants by 10 days and claims peace talks are ongoing. And the International Olympic Committee bans transgender athletes from women's events at the Olympics. Hello and welcome to ABC News. I'm Melissa McCabe. Tropical cyclone Narelle has been downgraded to a Category 3 as it continues tracking south past Exmouth this morning, packing with. This is Sky News, the headlines. Donald Trump says the US will hold off strikes on Iranian energy targets for 10 days and insists talks to end the war are going well. The Prime Minister tells Sky News that he hates the fact he made a mistake over the appointment of Peter Mandelson.
There's no criticism anybody else can level at me that will be as harsh as the criticism I've dished out for myself.
As Lebanon's Deputy Prime Minister tells Sky News that his country risks becoming another Gaza, we speak to medics treating casualties in the country's south. Plus, Olympic chiefs block transgender athletes from all women's sports, announcing new rules that include mandatory sex testing. Good morning. But after days of claims, counterclaims, threats and rhetoric, we have received perhaps the clearest indication yet of the state of peace talks between the United States and Iran. America's
Africa News. The news.
As France prepares to host the G7 Leaders Summit in June in the town of Evian-les-Bains, South Africa says it's been disinvited from the gathering. The spokesperson for President Cyril Ramaphosa on Thursday said they've learned that Paris has had to withdraw its invitation due to sustained pressure from the United States. Vincent Magwenya said they've been told the Americans threatened to boycott the G7 if South Africa was invited. French President Emmanuel Macron personally asked Ramaphosa to take part in the G7 during the G20 summit in South Africa in November. South Africa's relations with the US have deteriorated dramatically since Donald Trump's return to the White House last year. He's made discredited claims of a white genocide, boycotted the G20 summit in Johannesburg and has rejected the country's black economic empowerment policies. In addition, the Trump administration has clashed with Pretoria over its genocide case against US ally Israel at the International Court of Justice. Magonia said Paris's decision will not impact the strength and close nature of its bilateral relationship with France. He said the country also remains committed to engaging constructively with the US, adding that relations between the two countries will outlive the current White House term of office.
Vote is closed.
Human rights organizations have strongly rejected the European Parliament's approval of a controversial plan to tighten migration rules, backing the creation of migrants' detention centers outside the EU.
556.
In a vote on Thursday, lawmakers backed the new return regulation with 389 votes in favor and 206 against. Amnesty International condemned the move, calling it a punitive expansion of detention plans rushed through without proper human rights assessments. The reforms allow EU nations to set up so-called return hubs in third countries where people who
Fox News alert, the clock's ticking, and the mullahs are up against it. Deal or no deal?
They now have the chance, that is, Iran, to permanently abandon their nuclear ambitions and to chart a new path forward. We'll see if they want to do it. If they don't, we're their worst nightmare. In the meantime, we'll just keep blowing them away, unimpeded, unstopped. Well, there's not a thing they can do about it.
The Iranians asked Trump for another week before he turns out their lights. Trump said, why don't we make it 10 days? Our paratroopers are almost in position, as well as the USS Tripoli, as the U.S. Air Force penetrates deep and low into Iranian airspace.
A-10 Warthogs, if you know them, you love them, and Apache helicopter gunships are flying strike missions inside Iranian airspace and throughout the Strait of Hormuz at will. See, you only send these slow, low-flying, close air support platforms when the enemy has no meaningful air defenses left.
On top of that, the world's stealthiest supersonic jets in the air. The F-35 Lightning, and they never sleep. Here they are refueling midair in the middle of a combat mission. More B-1 bombers are taking off, as the White House is eyeing a knockout punch if a deal isn't struck. More on that later. The commander-in-chief says Iran's negotiators are different and strange. But who cares? He's used to Schumer.
They want to make a deal. The reason they want to make a deal is they have been just beat to
Over 10,000 targets have been decimated since the beginning of Operation Epic Fury. 2/3 of their military-industrial complex is now gone. They won't be able to rearm. And the Israelis just got another scalp. Iran's top admiral.
Thank you for watching. I'm Shakil 5858. I hope you will come again. Have a good life. Bye-bye.